Hey y'all, I'm Val from Our Forever Farm. I'm glad you're here. We're going to do something fun today. Again, excuse the carpenters if you hear hammering and things. We've got a lot of work going on here. It's a rainy day. I seem to say that often, but here at the lake, it's just a rainy day. Now, I know later on in the summer, we're going to be wishing for that rain. Today, we're making cabbage rolls. I'm very excited about this. I've been waiting to do this. I've took the outer leaves off and I'm going to put this in a pot of boiling water. Now I've got a big pot and I've got the cabbage on the stove boiling. Once it comes to a rolling boil, I'll boil it for about 5 minutes and then I'll put it in a colander to cool. So I'm going to give you two options to do on this. You can do it the easy way or you can make your own sauce. The easy way is just use a marinara sauce, a spaghetti sauce without meat or anything, and it's easy. But I'm going to show you how to make the sauce because it's so good. Now I've got a skillet. You don't have to use an iron skillet. This is just my choice. My cabbage is in the pan boiling. As you can see, the cabbage is not completely covered, but that's the biggest pan I have that's not packed. We're still packed. I think I've got some downstairs, but I don't want to go down there with the carpenters. So I'll just twirl this around to make sure that gets good and tender. And we're going to use about a tablespoon of olive oil in this pan. I probably use more. Now you want to get this pan, the oil good and hot, and then you want to add half of a medium onion. So I've got it chopped up and ready to go. We're just going to cook this onion about 2 or 3 minutes until it's translucent. Now there's certain things that I go the easy route on. If I can get minced garlic already minced, I'm not going to pound on a piece of garlic when I'm making a quick meal like this. I do have garlic in my garden. It's doing really good. It won't be ready till the fall, but it's doing really good and I'm excited. But right now I'm using minced garlic. I don't have any fresh garlic here. This is just as good. This calls for 2 garlic cloves minced. And if I'm not wrong, about a teaspoon of this is a garlic clove. So I'm going to add this into the pan. Now the reason I'm adding my garlic last is because it burns easy. Just saute that a little bit on low. Y'all should smell this, it's heavenly. We're adding a can of tomato sauce. Now we're adding a can of diced tomatoes. And you just want to stir this up. Next, we're going to add apple cider vinegar. And this really makes the sauce, so don't leave this out. We're going to add about a tablespoon. And stir it together. We're going to add about a tablespoon and a half of brown sugar. You can't go wrong with that, can you? And mix it well. Next, you're just going to season this with salt and pepper. By the time you get this done, your cabbage should be finished. You want to simmer this about 10 minutes on low. Stirring, frequently. You don't have to constantly stir, but I'm going to put my cabbage, I'm just going to pour this out. For some reason, this pan, if you heat it up, these handles are hot. Make sure and don't let that splatter out on you and get hot water on you. This cabbage is steaming hot. It's got to cool. Maybe 10 minutes. Now, the recipe doesn't call for you to spray your pan. It calls for a 9x13 pan. This is a little bit smaller, but I'm going to spray my pan. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of the sauce. I'm going to put it in the 9x13 pan. It's not a 9x13 pan. This smells so good. It's simmered for 10 minutes. Oh, it smells delicious, divine, heavenly. I'm going to add a couple of spoonsful of this on the bottom. Now we're going to chop up the other half of the onion that we haven't used. Now I'm just cutting half a pound of sausage and half a pound of ground beef. And I'm going to place it in a bowl. If you don't like sausage, just add all ground beef. And then we're going to add the half an onion that we just chopped up. The recipe calls for about a tablespoon of parsley, but I'm using Italian seasoning instead. Now, y'all know me, I love the smoked paprika. I don't care what brand. We're going to add about half a teaspoon. And this recipe does call for that. It calls for 1 egg, but I had to show you this whole carton. My friend Justin, my neighbor, gave them to me. They look beautiful. Aren't they beautiful? But I'm going to use one. Which one will I pick? Let's see. I think I'm going to pick the dark brown one. If I'm not wrong, those eggs were from her mother-in-law, her chickens, and she shared them with all the neighbors. So I'm adding 1 egg. Thank you, Justin, for the eggs. Now I'm adding 3/4 cup of cooked rice. Next, we're just going to mix this up. You can do it with your hands or a spoon, just like you would meatloaf. We are making the filling for the cabbage rolls. Next, we're going to work on our cabbage. I'm going to show you how I do that. Now remember, we've boiled this cabbage for 5 minutes. We've cooled it, and now we're cutting 1/2 inch off the stem. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to remove 12 to 15 leaves of cabbage. This is a small cabbage, so it's going to be a little bit tough to work with. And now you see why we boiled it. We wanted the leaves to be a little bit tender. So I've got my cabbage leaves ready. I'm going to cut the stem out of them. I'm going to get my meat mixture, and I'm going to show you how I put that in it. Now, as you can see, these are not huge cabbage leaves. I am going to just take this and cut the stem off the back of it. I won't cut it all the way through, but you're just going to cut the stem and discard that. You're going to lay your cabbage leaf down, and I'm going to make just a V right where the stem was. If there's any like loose edges, you can trim them off if you want to. That's fine. I don't usually do that. And now I'm going to show you how I put the filling in. Now I keep a paper towel close by because it is kind of wet and from the boiling process, and I just kind of dry it. I want these to lay flat. I use a cookie cutter, my only cookie cutter, just to get a uniform amount of meat in here. Now these are small cabbage leaves, so I'm not going to put a lot in there. If they were bigger, I'd probably put 2 scoops. There's many ways to do this. You can fold the sides in first. You can fold this way first. I like to do this and fold it like that. And I like to roll it up like this. I hope you can see that. But you can roll it anyway. You see some of my meat's coming out. So if I'd put any more meat in there, that would have been too much. A lot of people use toothpicks. I'm not going to use toothpicks. Place it right in the pan. And as I work, you'll see that I do this different ways because the leaves are different. Now you can see that I turn this over and get that hard piece of stem off, but then you're going to cut a little V in it, so you really could just cut it out if you wanted to. This is just to get it to lay flat. I'm just showing you a close-up of me cutting that little tough piece of the cabbage. Let me assure you, I'm no expert at this, but it's so easy. You can do it anyway. It's called cabbage rolls. Just roll it up. Now here you can see I've put it in slow motion. This is just for anybody that wanted to see how I roll it. I know there's experts out there that do a lot better job than me, but this is the way I do it. I hope it helps. And we're just going to continue this process till we get the pan full. And now we're just going to cover it with the rest of our sauce. Now, just a reminder, you don't have to make your own sauce. You can use a marinara. So I've got my oven preheated at 350, and this is going to cook for probably about 80 or 90 minutes, and I'll just check it and see when it's done. Cabbage, oh my goodness. You can do all ground beef, you can do all sausage, whatever you like. You can do mix it up like I did. Cabbage rolls, I mean, simple. If a country cook like me can do it, anybody can do it. We're going to cover this with foil, and I suggest putting it in a pan in the oven in case it spills over. And remember, every oven is different. You want your cabbage done. Now, as you can see, I've went to the freezer and got some okra out. This is the way the farmer, if you remember on a previous video, told me to freeze my okra. Oh my goodness, I love it. And then I'm just breading it in cornmeal real quick, and I'm going to fry some okra with it. Now, I'm not going to show you every step of me frying okra. I have a video showing you how to do that, and I'll put that link in the description box along with the link about freezing the okra. I'm sure many people are saying okra with cabbage rolls, but it is what it is at my house. Y'all, the cabbage rolls are done.
And the fried okra is ready.
Cabbage rolls and fried okra. Are you hungry?
I'm hungry.
Are ya?
Let's see.
Okay. Put that okra up here where they can see it. Fried okra and cabbage rolls. Y'all go cook something. Hey y'all, I'm Val Forever. Say that, but we welcome you. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to I peeled. Hey y'all, I'm Val from Our Forever Farm. I'm Val from Our Forever Farm. I'm glad you're here. Hey y'all, I'm Val from Our Forever. Hey y'all. Hey y'all, I'm from Val. Now I've got a skillet. When we bought the house. So not only.
And the fried okra is ready.
Come here. Is it really? Oh,
Yeah.
right. This one.
Y'all go cook something.
Smile. Do it again and smile.
Y'all go cook something.
Smile while you're saying it.
What? Y'all go cook something. Yeah.
Try it one more time. I forgot to do a thumbnail.
Y'all go cook something. Oh, yes.